It's 2 p.m. Detroit, and you know what that means. Detroit media icon Ryan Ermanni, University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Hey, let's go. Wednesday show, June 19th, 2024. Monty and Edwards with Maz. Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox Local app if you are watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, part of the over 65,000 subscribers on this platform, thank you so much as well. Full house today, big show, unexpected show, full show. On a Wednesday in the summer, big news today, Braylon Edwards. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Ryan. My name is Tom Mazaway, my man KG, and James Petenboo. Excited, like you said, man. It's a nice day outside. It's the summer. Big news, big show. So I won't waste time when he be at stores. Tom Mazaway, how you doing?
It's good, man. What took them so long, right? We all kept saying,
right?
Pistons, what are you doing? How come there's no press conference? Well, I guess they were taking care of business before they did a press conference because your man, your new your new president, he's doing the job. What do they call him? The Alaska Assassin?
Alaskan Assassin, and he is true to his name, Ryan Ermanni.
No doubt about that, guys. The Detroit Pistons announcing today they have made a move and fired Monty Williams after one season. Here's the quotes from Tom Gore's Pistons owner. Quote, "Decisions like these are difficult to make, and I want to thank Monty for his hard work and dedication. Coaching has many dynamic challenges that emerge during a season, and Monty has always handled those with grace. However, after reviewing our performance carefully and assessing our current position as an organization, we will chart a new course moving forward. I have great respect for Monty as a coach and as a person, and I am certain he will be successful in his future endeavors. I sincerely wish him and his family the very best. We are unwavering in our commitment to bring a championship caliber team to Detroit. We will be diligent and swift in our search for a new head coach to lead our exciting young core of players, and will continue our vision towards building a best-in-class front office that will help us achieve sustainable success." When I saw the Woj bomb, the tweet earlier today, I had to not only make sure there was the blue check mark, I had to make sure it wasn't fake Woj.
Yeah, the fan account.
Exactly, KG. So when I went back and saw that it was the Woj account, the one with 6.4 million followers, I knew this was real. I was stunned at this. Just last year, Monty Williams signed a 6-year, $78.5 million deal.
Largest deal in NBA history at the time.
Certainly for the Detroit Pistons, and among those now where we stand at this day. And Braylon, $65 million this man is owed. And Tom Gore has said, here, we're going to pay you $65 million to not coach us anymore. We have talked about this for a number of weeks and months, and for the year. He did not want to be here. It always felt like that. He was here, but he wasn't here.
Yeah.
And I think that caught up to this team. I think Tom Gore saw that, and I think you have to give a whole crap ton of respect. I do anyway, and a lot of people will disagree with this. I think you have to give Tom Gore's a little bit of respect today for anybody to say, here's $65 million, get out of here, you're not getting the job done. I think that's pretty remarkable. You make a mistake, but you're not doubling down and wasting more time. I think that's big today. Will they get it right moving forward? I don't know. Yeah. Will they make the next hire? Will it be good? I don't know. But this was a move that had to happen.
I think you start here, man. You know what? Monty Williams, I'm going to start calling him this time, Mazaway, the Golden Fleece.
Yeah.
And what I mean by the Golden Fleece, when he got X'd from Phoenix last year, Ryan and Monty Maz, $20 million was owed, $20 million was paid. Now he gets $65 million. Jeez. He's gotten $85 million plus what he made last season in 2 years. In 2 years, and technically less than 2 calendar years. Now, getting away from the Golden Fleece, I absolutely agree with you, Ryan. I think that's where you have to start. We give him so much discredit. We talk about it starts at the top. We talk about him not being around. We talk about him not really wanting to build a championship team because this team has made him how much money? Tom Mazaway, since the purchase, doesn't care. Two things can be true. One, He paid all that money to Monty Williams because of Monty Williams' record, because of Monty Williams has done, and his resume. He brought him in here, and he thought Monty Williams was the problem. Now, he was wrong, but he did give the money and pay Monty Williams. A year later, he X's Monty Williams. He's going to take that hit, that $65 million, trying to get this thing going in the right direction. You can't have remnants, and I don't care how new Monty was to the team. When the team has been bad for years, Tom Maswell, and you really believe in starting anew, when you really believe in a new direction, you have to get rid of all the remnants of the past. And those remnants, Monty Williams, not a good hire last year. You understood what he was going through with his family. You threw the money at him. What is he going to do? I would have took the job too. It is what it is. Troy Weaver, he's ousted as well. Tom Gores, for what you want to say about him, right now, it's Ryan Ermanni, I agree with you. Tom Gores, he made the right move last year. He made the right move this year. We'll see how it plays out, Tom Maswell. So this is a win for the Detroit Pistons and Tom Gores.
It is a good day, a sad day, but a good day. It's a new start.
Yeah.
It's when the Lions had Matt Millen, and unfortunately they doubled down on him. They brought him back. Huge mistake by Mr. Ford and his son. They got things right. It took a while, but this team is going to get things right. They can't be this bad for all these years. Now the question is, what's next? Because let's face it, they have 4 solid, maybe 5 really good young players.
We think.
Do they fit together?
We think they're good.
We think. I think they are going to be pretty good. I do. Like, especially Jalen Duren. A guy like him, I just don't know if Cade Cunningham, what do they do next? Does Cade stay? Or do they let him go somewhere else, let him start anew and bring back some veterans? I don't know what they have to do. They're sitting at the number 5 pick in next week's draft. What do you do when you're at rock bottom? Because that's where they are. But you know what? They're starting brand new. They tore everything out, like you said, Bray.
Yeah.
It ain't a redo of a house. They demolished the house. And they're going to have to rebuild it again.
Look, and that's up to the Alaskan assassin, Trajan Langdon, and his crew to figure out what is the direction of the Pistons, what steps do they need to take. But just coming back to Monty Williams just for 2 seconds, everybody can sit here and say, you know what? They did not have the talent. They were undermanned. They didn't have players that were comparable to play with Cade Cunningham to really get those wins. But, KJ, I just look at one of the biggest things. And Ryan Ermanni, this is where you went all year long. And finally, I think everybody kind of jumped on board. Why the hell were you not playing Jaden Ivey over Killian Hayes?
Yeah.
I think when you see decisions like that, that's when you as an owner, that's when you as a team got to say, it's not about the talent that we have. It's about the ones that we do have that should be playing. You can't even make those moves correct. I think that move in itself was the biggest comparable situation to getting him X from the Pistons.
No, absolutely. That whole situation was weird. He wouldn't
still weird.
He wouldn't even speak good about the guy. Like, even when he was asked, hey, how do you think Jaden Ivey's doing? He would kind of like brush the question away. It was so weird. And not only that, the treatment of him, the treatment of Asar Thompson during this process, there was a lot about Monty that just didn't work with this team. And 14 wins was just flat out unacceptable. Oh, yeah, they call me Black Hollywood. But
Black Hollywood?
I looked at Braylon for a minute.
What's that?
it's because of the glasses, man. It's because of the glasses. But
that's a Morning Woodward thing right there, man. That's Black Hollywood over there, man.
Hey, but it needed to happen, man. And I'm just glad that this is a clean slate for this team. It doesn't matter if the Trajan era works or doesn't work. All I want is for him to be able to live and die on his decision making. I don't want the front office involved. I don't want the tell-ems involved in the decisions. Let the basketball people do what they do. Let the front office people do what they do. And let's see what happens. But it need to happen.
Part of that, KG, too, is, you know, as Woj has been tweeting about this all day, he says this was a move made by Tom Gores and Arn Tellem. So maybe this wasn't Trajan Langdon's decision. I don't know, but I think it is collectively a Trajan Langdon decision. And ultimately, when it comes down to it, in deciding whether or not to spend $65 million on somebody not to coach you, it has to ultimately be the decision of the owner. One more thing about this that I think is one of the more important points of the day. The Detroit Pistons franchise, while once great, has become a distant fourth when it comes to the 4 major sports teams in our city. The Pistons fans, there are very few of them left. I grew up loving the Pistons. The Bad Boy Pistons made me love sports. And it has been sad to see what has happened to this franchise really since about 2008, when you knew the end was near for the Davidson family ownership, and then Tom Gores takes over in 2011. This thing has been trending in such an awful direction that people don't care about you anymore. Fans in Detroit do not care about the Detroit Pistons. Being apathetic, we've heard the word apathy before. That is the most dangerous word that could be associated with any particular franchise in sports. Your fan base is apathetic towards your team. In other words, we don't care about you. I didn't care about the Detroit Pistons. I now have a little bit of a pulse. I have a little bit of a pulse now when it comes to the Detroit Pistons.
Good.
Because I feel now, and if you're a fan of an organization, Bray, one of your hopes is that they want to win as bad as you want to win.
Yeah.
Now, they might not know how to win.
Yeah.
And that's another story. We'll put that over
Okay.
here. They might not know how to win, but at least you know they want to win as bad as you do. And this just isn't some game to them or some toy to them or some money-making ability to them. For the first time, well, I shouldn't say that. Not for the first time, because I think Tom Gore's commitment to Monty Williams in and of itself to bring him here spoke volumes about how this organization viewed him and how bad they wanted to change the course of this franchise. But it feels like to me, Tom Gores wants to win. Now, again, he might not know how to win, but at least it proves to me that they're trying. They're at least trying to get it right by getting rid of Troy Weaver and bringing in Trajan Langdon, by paying $65 million to a coach not to coach you. That says a lot about him, and I know people don't feel like this today, but for me, Tom Gores earned a little bit of respect from me today.
Yeah, I agree. And you look at the Pistons, you talk about a pulse, and you talk about fans, having apathy and not being around and kind of dissipating in terms of the support for the Pistons. If you look at the Pistons organization from the end of the Davidson era, rest in peace to Mr. Davidson, but when his wife was on the team, you look at the end of that era, Joe Dumars has a lot of critical decisions. Now, there's some believe he made these decisions based on having to. Look, we're going to end the Pistons anyway. You might as well throw some money at players. Some people believe he did it the wrong way, and then you start the Tom Gores era, and it just hasn't been right from the start of it till before this move. Until then, it just got worse and worse and worse. And if you're a fan of the Detroit Pistons, why am I watching a team that can't win games? Why am I watching a team that gets worse and worse every single season? Why am I going to LCA to spend money on a ticket and parking and popcorn and nachos and whatever the hell else, drinks and such, when it doesn't seem like you care? You're just taking my money. People have dialed out of the Pistons. COVID didn't do Pistons any favor. But now you're looking at it just like you said. You got rid of Monty Williams, the guy that you just hired. You got rid of Troy Weaver, who we made so many jokes about, but in all seriousness, deservingly so from the draft standpoint, from doubling down on player standpoint. So now you've gotten rid of both of them in a span of 3 to 4 weeks, let's just say a month. Now you're right to have a post because it looks like you care about what people are saying in the news, what people are saying around the country, what fans are saying when they're downtown at other instances, at the Detroit Tigers, at the Red Wings. Everybody's talking, and it seems like they've been listening to a certain extent.
He bought the team in 2011, Tom Gores. So 13 years. This will be his 6th coach. 6 coaches in less than 13 years.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most disastrous ownerships in sports history. I don't even know if I can't even think of anything. I can go back to the Oakland A's
Donald
and
Sterling.
Charles Finley and all the crap he was
Just
pulling.
watched clip today.
Good one, Joe. Dan Snyder, terrible owner.
Dan Snyder, everybody wanted him out.
Horrible owner.
Yeah.
James Dolan in New York, horrible owner. But now the Rangers are starting to win, and Knicks are becoming relevant. But this guy, man, I'm really looking forward to seeing what they bring in, who they bring in. We're going to have Vinny Goodwill on from Yahoo Sports. Used to be a writer here in Detroit.
He's a high school guy.
High school friend of yours, man.
Teammate.
Hey.
So we're going to ask him a little bit. But he put out a name, James Borrega. This guy has been interviewed by the Lakers and the Cavaliers. He's one of the hot names, the hot young guys that are out there. So he is on the radar. You still have J.J. Redick, who supposedly is the front runner in L.A. One of the guys in L.A., a big Lakers guy, says that's a done deal, but it's not official yet until Woj tells you it's official.
Right.
And then you got the college. Think about that. Remember I told you last week or 2 weeks ago, maybe the runner-up for the Lakers job, Dan Hurley, J.J. Redick, maybe one of them will come here. But I don't know, man. There's nobody out there. See, I'm old school. I'd say, hey, go get Jeff Van Gundy. I know Jeff Van Gundy just signed
first assistant with the Clippers.
Right, with the Clippers.
Ty Lue.
And I know this is a young team. Why bring another old man in? I don't know. I just look at resumes for guys that turn teams around. He turned the Knicks around. He turned the Rockets around. And he got the championships. He's got the rings.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say JJ won't be coming here. We won't have to even worry about that. And then as it relates to what was the other name that you
James Borrega?
Van Gundy? Borrega?
No, not Borrega. I can't
Redick?
remember. Redick's not coming here with something else. But anyway, going to the James Dolan comment that you made, maybe this is a step in what Tom Gores is doing. Because James Dolan was destroying the New York Knicks. As a fan, Maz, I know you know I'm telling the truth. James Dolan was ruining the Knicks, not only on the court, he was ruining the alumni base, he was ruining the fan base. He had Spike Lee and Stephen A. Smith, longtime supporters, not even wanting to show up to the games. But you know what he did? He stepped back, Ryan. He said, I don't know basketball. Yep. I got the money. You know what? Maybe it's time for me to take a step back. He's taken a step back, and over the past 2 seasons, you see what the New York Knicks have done. Maybe Tom Gores is realizing he needs to do the same.
The best thing that ever happened to the New York Knicks?
Jalen Brunson.
The Las Vegas Sphere. The Sphere in Vegas.
Because
that's
he's
where
so
James
focused
Dolan
on that.
transitioned all his energy to.
Yeah.
And kind of...
I didn't know that was his.
Yeah,
That's
went
his.
to Vegas.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
He went to Vegas and helped with the Sphere.
Wow.
And let the basketball people do the basketball for the Knicks.
Wow.
And if you look at what happened over the last 2 years specifically, when James Dolan left, that's when the resurgence came for the New York
Maybe
Knicks.
Gores could go with them and help him.
When he stopped meddling. And again, what this team has to do, James Borrega, fine. He's at 45, 46 years old.
Yeah.
Fine, whatever.
I know nothing about him.
You know what? It's fine. What you have to do, and the names aside, what you have to do is basically build the same type of leadership roles, the same type of front office organization that works in tandem as the Detroit Lions. In your right mind, did you ever think you would say you need an organization like the Lions?
No.
Right.
But that's essentially what you have to do. From owner to general manager to president to coach,
they're lockstep.
all be in lockstep, absolutely. And the aforementioned Vinny Goodwill from Yahoo Sports, Yahoo NBA writer, formerly here locally of the Detroit News, right, Vinny? Were you news?
Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
Hey,
How you
Vinny.
doing, man? So good to see you. So happy for your success.
Likewise, man. Appreciate y'all, man.
So Vinny, let me just first ask. I was stunned when I saw the news today that they were going to pay Monty Williams $65 million to leave town. What was your reaction, and what does this signal to you from Tom Gores?
Why were you stunned? Today is Juneteenth. There's nothing better than on Juneteenth to give a black man his freedom and $60 million.
That's facts. That is fact.
That's my guy. That's my guy.
That's
my guy.
remarkable.
That's it, Vinny. You should leave now. Go out on a high note. Go out on a high note.
There is nothing you'll say in the next 15 minutes that will be as profound as that.
But as far as organizational direction, I think you look at it like this. They hired Trajan Langdon, and I've been away to the NBA Finals. Last I checked, they hadn't introduced him yet, right?
No.
That's been the signal that a decision hadn't been made, because the first question you were going to ask was going to be, is Monty Williams coming back? And if he wasn't ready to answer the question with a resounding yes, then he's not going to take the podium. So he's going to be introduced in the next couple of days, and then you're going to talk about, okay, how are you structuring your front office? Who are you hiring as a head coach? I think the important thing to remember is this. If you think Troy Weaver and Monty Williams are the biggest problems or the only problems for this organization, I think you would be short-sighted. Like, this thing needs a top-down sort of fumigation. You know what I mean? You fumigate a crib before you buy it and all that
100%.
type of stuff. Like, this is what this organization needs. It needs to be evaluated from the top down, because Monty Williams was only here 1 year. Troy Weaver was only here for a handful of seasons, and yet and still this team has not won a playoff game since Tom Gores has taken over as owner. There's been presidents, there's been GMs, there's been coaches. This is going to be his 6th coach since taking over. They haven't won a playoff game in 16 years, and we've seen the Celtics build, rebuild, tear it down, go back to the finals. That should infuriate Piston fans to see other franchises become relevant while this franchise sits where it sits right now.
Hey, Vinny, you bring up such a great point, and I'm glad you went there, because we did not just yet. But there's no doubt when you look at this Pistons organization, Arn Tellem has a major voice in this organization. Arn Tellem's son has a major voice in this organization. Some of the other scouts in this organization. It is more than coach and GM. There's no doubt about that. What do you think Tom Gores needs to do? Well, you told me, but how do you move forward if you're Trajan Langdon or a new coach, knowing that, hey, I'm coming to the same organization with all the same fail spots along the way? What does that signal to you if you're Trajan Langdon or James Borrega or whoever comes in here?
Well, I think the important thing is this. They hired a president of basketball operations. Troy Weaver was a GM. And I know nobody thinks of that as 2 separate roles. But when you're the president, that means you're responsible for every facet of basketball operations, which means that you quiet the cooks in the kitchen, which means that everybody's going to settle into their roles. Like, this is what the franchise needs. They need one voice to say, this is our ethos. This is what we stand for. These are the type of players we're going to look for. This is the type of coach that we're going to look for. And everybody can have a voice. There's nothing wrong with Arn Tellem and his basketball experience having a voice. There's nothing wrong with that, because you look at it. CAA runs the New York Knicks. Clutch Sports has a real big hand in the LA Lakers. There's nothing wrong with influence. It's just making sure that it's influence and not driving the organization and keeping people in their proper places where their skill sets aren't overvalued. And hopefully Trajan Langdon comes into a place of leadership. Like, that's what this organization needs more than anything else. It needs leadership. You don't have to model the Lions. You don't have to model the Boston Celtics or any other organization. You don't even have to model the bad boy Pistons or going to work Pistons. This is a new NBA in a new league, and you have to adjust to where the league is. And you also have to be honest about where you are as an organization, where you fit in the NBA landscape. You're not a free agent destination, so you're going to have to pay Cade Cunningham, which means you're going to have to be smart in making trades and smart in making hires and utilizing the advantages you do have. I just think that this organization has been leadership-less over the past couple of seasons.
Vincent Goodwill, 21 years ago, we played on the same team and went to the same high school, man. Every time I see you, I know we're literally a year apart, man, but I'm so proud of you and the work that you've done. It just had to say that out loud, man. Proud of you and good to be able to talk to you in this space. With that being said, you talked about the revamping of the front office. You talked about the revamping what Trajan Langdon has to do. Let's step onto the basketball court. Let's talk about the actual player personnel. What's the first move of Trajan Langdon when you're assessing the talent that, or the lack thereof, that the Detroit Pistons have? If you're the Pistons, if you're Trajan Langdon, what are you looking for? Are you trying to make moves to add to Cade Cunningham, or you're like everybody is up for sale in the new space of the new Detroit Pistons?
Well, that's interesting, Braylon, because I don't know if you look at Cade Cunningham and say, we can't win with him. I think you don't have the evidence to say that you can't. You don't look around at this team and say, man, we've got Cade Cunningham, who was an exceptional talent, right? I'm not saying Hall of Fame talent, but an exceptional.
Definitely an all-star at some point,
Yeah, absolutely. I would not be surprised if he were an all-star next year. But you're saying if Cade is our guy, then we have to surround Cade with better complementary pieces. You've got Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren and Asar Thompson and Jaden Ivey. Maybe Thompson is the best. I'm going to say Thompson. Maybe Stewart is the best shooter out of them. You know what I mean? Like, if he's not a guy that can blow by you and get to the basket, then Cade is going to need space. And you don't see players on the roster that can complement Cade with space. You almost felt like they were toggling between two different identities. Oh, let's go big with Duren and Stewart and get tough and beat up teams. Or let's be fast and go get a Jaden Ivey and Asar Thompson.
Yeah.
And you've forgotten about the most valuable commodity in today's NBA. It may not be the NBA that I love.
Shooting.
Like, I love a tough, rugged NBA. Like watching the Boston Celtics take 45 threes in the NBA Finals, that ain't a league that I want to see, but it's the league that we in.
It's what we have.
You got to adjust to that. So I do think that you look at all those pieces, they are good talents, Braylon. Like those guys are not talentless, but you got to figure out what pieces fit and what don't. And you also have to have some hard conversations and say, hey, maybe this guy's a good player, but not a good player for us.
Hey, Vinny, and last question. I mean, maybe it's not a fair question to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Is this a situation where you can see the Pistons in 3 years being in the playoffs, or maybe even 2? I think in every sport, whether it's MLB, whether it's NBA, NFL, NHL, 2 years is kind of the window now if you got the right people in the office to get it done and get teams from 0 to playoffs. Do you think the Pistons have that opportunity in the next 2 to 3 years to be a playoff team?
Braylon, it's a cheat code now in the NBA.
Well, tell me what it is.
You got the play-in, so all you got to be is a top 10 team.
Very
and you
true.
can at least be in the conversation. And I'm with you. The elite sports leagues moves faster than ever, quicker than ever, right?
Yeah.
You have rebuilds that they don't take 5 or 6 years anymore. If you've got a star, if you've got the guy that impacts winning, that influences winning, that drives winning, it shouldn't take any more than 2 years for you to flip and turn over a roster. If you've got draft picks, if you've got cap space, not to go out and sign free agents per se, but to fit players into trades that is going to fit that, right? You look at the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference stunk this year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Boston walked through the East and God bless them, won the championship and all that. But Milwaukee is not going to be great because their guys are older. You don't know if the Knicks are going to be in one piece next year. You've got a lot of teams with a lot of questions that is going to be more so trending down while still being good. There's not young teams that you're looking at in the Eastern Conference and you're saying, you know what? In 2 years, they're going to be running this. Maybe the Orlando Magic because they got a lot of young pieces.
Paolo Banchero.
Yeah. But other than that, Braylon, this is a prime opportunity for a Pistons franchise that has, you know what? I'm going to give y'all a stat. Since the year I was born, 1984, that was the year that the NBA went to 4 playoff rounds and 16 games, right?
Right.
The Pistons have the second most amount of Eastern Conference Finals appearances next to the Boston Celtics in the last 40 years. You wouldn't know watching basketball in this town over the past 15 or 16 years that they have a championship tradition because they ain't been worth a damn.
Hey, Vinny, the last time the Pistons had some money to spend, they brought Ben Gordon and Charlie Villanueva here. Now, I know this is a new era, but they got some money to spend. Who the hell wants to come here? Who can they actually get free agent-wise to come to Detroit?
I don't think you look at free agency. I think free agency is like, it's a great idea, right? I think you're better off using free agents to fill in the gaps when you use your mid-level exceptions and stuff like that. But I'll just give you a great example. The Houston Rockets went from being a really bad team to being a team that kind of went to the precipice. They picked up crazy-ass Dylan Brooks and Fred VanVleet, right? Not all-star names, but guys that sort of helped your culture. Veteran guys that kind of show guys how to work. And they overpaid for them. They paid a lot of money, right? If you find culture guys on the market, because there's no veteran guy on this roster. Remember last year, they had all this free agent money, and they wanted to trade it for Joe Harris, who had bad ankles and didn't play at all. Like, you can't kick the can down the road. You have to actually have a plan. Now, it's good that they didn't spend bad money after bad money, so you still have flexibility, but you actually have to have a plan, whether that's in the trade market or free agency. I don't think there's this one guy that's going to be out there. But Massaway, I will say this. Have you seen NBA money? Somebody will take your money. Don't worry about that. Don't look at it like, man, ain't nobody going to take Detroit's money.
Monty did.
Oh,
I said Monty Williams did.
Hey, look, man, I learned one thing. My mama told me a long time ago, you ask a woman on a date the first time, she say no, don't ask her the second and third. The Pistons went to Monty 3 times and said, Monty, please take our money. And he said, all right, fine, I'll do it. And that should have been the sign that you was not going to be successful with this person. That's a little marriage advice for y'all, too.
Amen.
Okay. Big facts, Vincent. Hey, KG in the sound booth. Nice to meet you. Happy Juneteenth, brother. But the Pistons don't make a move like this a week before the draft unless they have a coach lined up. Now, I know James Borrega has been the rumored name, but do you think the Pistons should go more of the veteran coach route, or should they maybe lean into the young coach, maybe an experienced assistant coach to lead this thing going forward?
Just say veteran coach, like they just didn't fire Monty Williams. Ain't no more veteran than Monty Williams. You know
that's
what
true.
I mean? Like,
that's true.
I don't know that they have a guy in mind. I don't think you're looking at the timing of this and saying, oh, they got some master plan, because what has shown you about this franchise that has indicated that they have some master plan, right? This is when they got the okay to fire Monty Williams. This is when everybody was on board with it. I was told today pretty much that they had 3 options, that it was bring Monty back for the full length of his contract and say, we're going to commit to you and we're going to see this through. The second option was, let's give it a trial year and figure this out. And the third option was cutting them loose. And it seems like the third option was the best option.
Celtics win their 18th NBA championship. We were talking, and that run, where would you place that 16-3 run that the Boston Celtics just, 4-1, 4-1, 4-0, 4-1. I mean, that is, they didn't even have a series in there anywhere.
That's like, you know what that's compared to? So I didn't play high school with Braylon. Like, I knew better, right? But if you put Braylon against me on a fly pattern, he gonna win every time. It don't matter what round it's in. That's what it looked like for the Boston Celtics, right? They were playing against Donovan Mitchell without Donovan Mitchell. They were playing against Tyrese Halliburton without Tyrese Halliburton. You know, they played who was in front of them through no fault of their own. Had they played the Denver Nuggets in the finals, okay, we'd be talking about all-time great run. I think it was a dominant run. They were 16-3. All-time great run. You gotta have some more blood on that banner besides the blood of Pascal Siakam or the blood of Darius Garland or the blood of whoever the hell they played in the first round. Oh, the Miami Heat without Jimmy Butler. I will say this: you take nothing away from being a champion. You don't apologize for being a champion. Like, there's been championship teams in this town that have played injury-riddled teams, and there's no asterisk on that. I just stopped short of saying how great the actual run was. We don't have to lie about it, but we do say they are a valid champion.
Yeah.
I was there for it. They won the championship, and they don't have to apologize for it.
Fair.
I got a 2-part question here involving the Los Angeles Lakers. The Lakers, LeBron James, will he stay in LA? Who will be their coach? And then I saw this today, and it blew my mind, and I want to see if it blows your mind. And you probably already know this, but nonetheless, in 2016, at pick 2, the Lakers select Brandon Ingram. At pick 3, Boston selects Jaylen Brown in 2016. Very next year in 2017, the LA Lakers select Lonzo Ball at 2. At number 3, Boston
Tatum
selects Jason Tatum. I mean, is that?
That's a mic drop.
If you're the LA Lakers and you could have had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, that is. I keep thinking about Giannis Antetokounmpo being picked after, at 15 that year or whatever he was, and complained about the Pistons. But just the Lakers. Where does LeBron end up? Is he staying in LA?
Do you see his old ass going anywhere else? I know when I get old, I ain't trying to move from city to city. Like, that man, he got more gray hair on his face than he got hair on his head. That's a sign that you need to sit your behind down somewhere. Like, I think he has a couple more years left at this stage of his career where he's effective, where his body is going to be able to play 55 to 60 games. Anthony Davis is there. He's not going anywhere. I'm not saying all this is a bluff. I think all this is just, you just show the Lakers that, hey, maybe I can go somewhere if you don't do the things that I want you to do. And to your point about that draft, it's important to note the Boston Celtics had that number 1 pick. They just swindled the Philadelphia 76ers into taking Markelle Fultz, and they were going to take Jason Tatum the whole time. That just shows you how inexact of a science the draft is. Like, Jaylen Brown didn't even have a great rookie year. Brandon Ingram was kind of ahead of him, but it's just about fit. And not necessarily talent, but fit. You see that in Detroit. You see that everywhere else. You can look at the draft and say, hey, good draft pick, good draft pick, good draft pick. But it doesn't always turn out that way because you have to have fertile land and you have to have an organizational direction that allows for that growth and development.
Before I get back to Braylon for a minute, can I give you one wild card team for LeBron James? Wild card.
Okay.
Dallas Mavericks. Kyrie, Luka.
He's not going and playing for the minimum. Like, if you know LeBron James, LeBron is not about taking pay cuts.
He's a businessman.
He wants to buy an NBA team, and that means I need to get all of my cash while I can, and that means staying in LA.
Yeah, Fox Studios has got a lot of money invested in Brown, so I think he'll be all right in the cash department. V. We know we know what's going to happen in the West. The West is going to be it's going to be a wild show next year. You got Minnesota, you got Phoenix. Will they figure it out? Obviously, Dallas Mavericks. I don't care about the West. It's the East. You talked about getting good now. The East has not been that good. Celtics, number 1 team, probably going to be favored to win again. Who's that number 2 team that you see in the Eastern Conference Finals next year with the Celtics? I see Pascal Siakam just got extended to the tune of 4 years, $189 million. Is it the Pacers? Is it the Knicks? Or is it some wild card that I'm not paying attention? Who, Boston, and what?
I mean, I'm never a believer in the Philadelphia 76ers because I've seen their movies, right? Joel Embiid is always hurt.
Yep.
Somebody's choking. No matter
same ending every time.
Mm-hmm.
Every time it's the same movie, dog. It's like the Fast and the Furious. Whether you go to outer space or you go to South Central.
That was wild.
Right?
That was wild.
I think Braylon, Philly could be a team. I tend to trust a team like the Miami Heat to figure stuff out because they always manage to figure stuff out. They had the bad year this year, but they were in the NBA Finals the year before. They were at a Game 7 in the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago. I tend to trust organizations that have directions and great coaches and great players. Maybe this is one of those years where Miami goes into, not the free agent market, but the trade market and says, we're going to go get a starter pair with Jimmy Butler while Jimmy Butler is still in his prime. Yeah. Philly is going to go after Paul George. They're going to try to get in the business with some of these other guys. I don't trust the New York Knicks because Tom Thibodeau, it's all cute when these guys are playing 48 minutes during the regular season or 48 minutes in the playoffs when everybody
Julius Randle.
Next year, go look at them numbers next year. Come back to me next year and go see what Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo and Jalen Brunson, those dudes will look like an old car next year. You know what I mean? They look like an old car where you fitting 6 dudes in a small BMW and you
hit it to the River Rock. You brought up the Fast and Furious, man. In the words of Dominic Toretto, we will always be family, my brother.
my dude.
100%.
Hey, Vinny, we're so happy for your success. So proud of your success. Keep killing it at Yahoo, and of course, your podcast, Woodward podcast on Yahoo, Ball Don't Lie channel on X at Vince Goodwill. Thanks so much, bud. We appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate y'all, man. Thanks again for having me on.
Thanks, you got it. Great stuff. Great stuff from a great NBA writer and great NBA reporter, Vinny Goodwill.
Same high school. It's crazy.
Isn't that great? Makes you proud.
Hey, before we get off of the Pistons train, earlier today, Stephen A. Smith. They got to go to him, right? The news hits. He's on Get Up. Here's a short blurb from Stephen A. Smith on Monty Williams.
I would say this. Hey, here's what I would tell you. Monty Williams is obviously a God-fearing man, very religious and what have you. He needs to get on his knees and look up and thank his heavenly Father that he was let out of that miserable situation in Detroit.
I didn't know where that was going.
He couldn't be happier. I know he's going to be happy, and obviously he's going to have other opportunities down the line because that situation in Detroit was an absolute mess. He regretted it from the time he got there. It's just that it's something he'll never say publicly.
It just speaks to what Vinny was talking about. You can't beg a girl to go out on a date with you. She's not gonna she's gonna end up liking your best friend.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You just can't do it. And he said Tom Gores went out there 3 times.
Yeah.
And said, "Okay, fine, I'll go out with you. Please stop asking me." You know what I mean?
And then the thing with Monty Williams too, and you look at it. Neither one of these situations is his fault. Now, in the next hiring process, he'll be asked questions about the Jaden Ivey and Killian Hayes situation because front offices are going to want to know, owners are going to want to know.
Yeah.
Is this something that you're going to do? Is your mind clear when he takes that next job? But if you look at it, when he got fired from Phoenix, no fault of his, Matt Ishbia came in, he wanted his own guy. Got fired from the Detroit Pistons. With the exception of that move and maybe not looking like he was into it this season, this team was already in play.
Yep.
It had, like Vinny said, had nothing to do with Monty Williams. So he'll be fine. And if I had $85 million, $100 including last year, for a year and a half's worth of work, I definitely would be all right.
Right.
Yeah.
It is remarkable what they've done. Guys, we're going to transition. We're going to take a break at the top of the hour. How about we do that?
Why not?
Keep going here, and we'll take a break at the top of the hour. I do want to talk about that hockey game last night because
fabulous.
I don't know.
I told you. I called it.
Well, I don't remember if you called it or not.
I said Edmonton was going to win.
Did you really?
Night.
He did.
God bless you, because last night it was one of the best 3-goal hockey games that you could see. I mean, it's 3-0. Then it's 3-1. Then it's 4-1. So twice last night, 2 different points in the game, the Oilers were up 3 goals. And then a furious comeback by Florida. They had a great chance late in the third as well. And the blocker pad by Skinner somehow got that puck out of there.
I got news for you. Skinner is all of a sudden vaulting to the top of the Conn Smythe trophy. I know Connor McDavid.
He's 5 points away from Wayne Gretzky's all-time.
But this guy, his record in elimination games is undefeated.
Yeah.
You can't kill the guy. You can't. And now Bobrovsky is going backwards. He went from the Conn Smythe winner for Florida on a sweep. Now he's almost a GOAT. He can hardly stop a goal. I think there might be a goal change, a goaltender change.
Maz, I want to give you some credit. Look, we've talked about it in terms of the road that the Edmonton Oilers took to get here. They came back in round 1. They came back in round 2. In terms of these guys had to be exhausted in terms of coming back and winning these rounds and getting to the finals exhausted. That's how they look, right? Yesterday, I picked them to win just because I love Connor McDavid, and I was hoping that the Edmonton Oilers win. But you said something. You said, you know what? Maybe they found themselves. Yeah. Maybe they've seen something in the Florida Panthers. Maybe they're going back. Now they're in their head. They did lose last year.
They're putting shots on net that they wouldn't normally shoot because this guy is shaky right now.
Man's called it.
Well, the 4th goal was a terrible goal.
Yeah,
that
he's shaky.
I don't even know what he was doing. It went under his skate. He was not even in position.
He is completely off his game right now.
But I get a sense that this is now Edmonton's cup to lose. I mean,
it is.
If you think about
it, you're going home.
At one point last night, the Edmonton Oilers had scored 12 of the last 13 goals that were scored in the final. Think about
that's ridiculous.
14 because they scored the final 2 goals. They scored the final 2 goals of game 3.
Yep.
They scored 8-1 in game.
That's 11-1.
And then they were 4-1.
15-2.
15 of 17 goals that were scored in the series belonged to Edmonton at that certain point.
Then Florida scored 2 and Edmonton scored 1 more.
That is complete domination by the Edmonton Oilers.
And now it seems like Florida's in the situation. And what happened Sunday? Rory McIlroy has been flirting with getting that major for 10 years. He's been right there but can't get it done. Right there and can't get it done. Sunday, he had a 2.4 foot to win it, to get the major, to finally knock that monkey off his back. In his head, that seems to be where the Florida Panthers are now. They've been lost last year. They won the President's Cup 4 years ago. They've been flirting with it, and now it seems like they might be in their head like Rory was.
It's a phenomenal series, guys. I hope you watched it last night. And Sean McDonough.
Oh, my God. I was going to text
Sean McDonough was sick at Edmonton. He was
so good last night.
But he was fabulous last night.
He was so good.
Fabulous. I mean, I was standing up in my own house. My daughter Lily was running out to watch it. I mean,
he was so good.
How about
last
Kachuk at the end of that game?
What that might have been? Can we show? We can't show that video, can we?
Probably not.
It might be the greatest single play I've ever seen in a hockey game. It was
besides Connor McDavid going around cones every other game. Describe
the Matthew Kachuk.
It's going into the empty net. All right, and
the puck is trickling down.
Way ahead. Way ahead of Kachuk.
Going into the empty net.
He dives, puts his stick forward with the blade facing to the left, and he pulls it out of right before the net. Swings it out.
Right at the red line.
Connor McDavid happened to be there. He hits it. He slaps it. Yeah. Kachuk almost makes the save again, and it goes in to break their back. To go up 5-3. But the effort, there's no. These hockey players, man, this Stanley Cup, it is the hardest. It's the hardest championship to get.
Clearly.
It is absolutely the hardest championship to get out of all the sports. Hands down.
I don't even think there's a question about that. I mean, what these guys do on a nightly basis now,
they play.
Now both teams, after just being dog tired, will travel 2,500 miles back to Edmonton.
Yep.
It is, and they'll do it again on Friday. And I mean, what is Edmonton's got to be the favorite in that, right?
They'll probably be a favorite in that game. They will probably be a favorite in that game.
Edmonton is a quarter favorite, minus 125. Florida, you can get plus 105, meaning to win $100.
You win 105.
Yeah.
If you bet $100
Yeah.
on Florida, you win 105. If you bet, you need to bet $125 on
To win
Edmonton
100.
to win 100.
Right.
I don't. Now the Panthers completely dominated the second half of that game.
Oh, yeah.
I
The
don't-
last 30 minutes was theirs.
I don't know how this is literally a coin flip.
Confusing.
This is literally a coin flip. This game.
Connor
in
McDavid has
Edmonton.
8 points in the last 2 games. 8 freaking points.
That's why he's my favorite.
If there was a situation, if you made me pick a winner right now in Game 6, I would have to say the Florida Panthers.
Really?
Because I cannot unsee the domination that I saw in the last 30 minutes of that game. They
Yeah, but
they
did it
could-
break their back?
They ultimately couldn't get the equalizer, but I think that they will win Game 6.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't bet on it.
Yeah, so I wanted to present this question because we talked about it earlier. Of course, Connor McDavid, the 8 goals over 2 games, that's unreal. I don't watch a
8
lot of hockey,
points.
and I know that's unreal. Yeah. But if they were to go to Game 7, Edmonton, would Connor McDavid deserve the Finals MVP regardless, win or lose?
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a great question. I
Jerry
think
West, rest in peace.
Yeah.
it is definitely a worthy question of asking, and I'm so glad, if nothing else, win or lose, I'm so glad that people like me, casual hockey fans who watch in the playoffs, who have heard Connor McDavid's name and Connor McDavid's name and Connor McDavid's name, we've heard his name so much, but now we get to see it.
Yeah.
Most of us here in Detroit, or most of us that, 80% of the country, guys,
Yeah.
I think it's a 78% technically, but 78% of the population in America live in the Eastern and Central time zones.
Yeah.
Nobody's staying up till 10:30 to watch Connor McDavid on the East Coast, unless you are
A diehard.
just a flat out diehard.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you're just not staying up to watch him play. So I'm so glad this run is just not a sweep, and that we are getting to see the brilliance of this hockey player that is being talked about in the Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux, that
He's one of them guys.
kind of
Yeah.
one of those types of players. Because I think every league needs a type of player like that. In baseball you have Shohei Ohtani.
Oh, yeah.
In basketball you have 5 guys that you can mention in that. Hockey you have Connor McDavid, and football you have Patrick Mahomes. You need that main guy that everybody else can shoot for, and he seems to be it.
Yeah, I'm
for the
excited.
NHL.
We talked about this, man, wanting him to get to the Stanley Cup Finals so people could put eyes on this guy that, once again, DJ Tom T, what's going on? He put me on him years ago. Like, this is what you need to see. It's like baseball. NFL is the only one where it does not matter the market you're in. If you're a star, you'll get out there. People will know who you are, whether it's fantasy football, whether it's the marketing, whether it's the promoting. Football, you'll be okay. MLB, not so much. Mike Trout, a lot of people couldn't pick him out of a lineup. Mike Trout was the best player in MLB for 8 years. For 8 years. You talk about basketball. Before, I'll give you an example. De'Aaron Fox, when he was on his ride, nobody knew how good De'Aaron Fox was until he got the opportunity to play against Golden State in the playoffs. So NFL is the only one where it doesn't matter the market. MLB, NHL, and NBA, maybe not so much.
Man, I'm having so much fun watching the hockey.
I know.
It really is. It's fabulous.
It's making up for the NBA.
It made me fall in love with it. I can't explain it to you how good that game was last night. It was just so damn good, and it helps to have one of the best announcers in the game do it. By the way, Tigers just lost 7-0.
Of course.
They lost 2-1, 2-1, 7-0 to the Braves. They are now 6 games under 500 and about 7 games back in the
Lost
wild
another
card.
Terry
series.
Scoop finally had one of those games. So
Scoobs
it's like,
did not
even
make it.
Scoobs.
He did not make it through 5 today.
And this was a Tarek Skubal game too, and they have to win every Tarek Skubal game if they want to be remotely close to any type of wild card berth or wild card contention. They are out of the wild card. They are nowhere near the wild card now. Then they've got, and I mentioned the schedule yesterday. They got the Phillies coming up. They've got the Dodgers
White
coming
Sox
up.
first.
Yeah, the White Sox first.
Yeah.
But I'm just talking about they've got the Guardians coming up. They've got
Three
the Twins
solid,
coming up.
Three number one teams are coming into Comerica.
This might be the downturn.
Yeah, it could go south quickly.
It's curtains.
And we talk about Tom Gores as an owner. I think you do, like a day like today does highlight for you, the fact that Chris Ilitch, would he ever eat money from anybody? You know what I mean? Would he ever eat Javi's contract?
It don't seem that way.
Real quick, it's funny you say Chris Ilitch. I was playing with Ronnie Ilitch on Monday. He said, "Hey,
I love Ronnie."
He said, lay off his uncle.
Who, me?
He said, lay off his uncle.
You or me?
He's talking about you. He said, lay off his uncle. Chris Ilitch.
What did he say?
What'd I say about him?
He was being funny.
But I'll say about it now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the truth. You gotta highlight. I mean, you're trotting a guy out there that don't help you win.
Yeah.
And in fact, he's helping you lose. It's.
You can't blame Javi this week. He's been on the IL.
Right.
And they're already 3 in the hole again.
I mean,
he don't help you do anything.
He ain't helping you when he on the field.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where it's really disappointing because you've got a situation where the Detroit Tigers, it feels like another wasted season. It feels like another wasted year. Mm-hmm. So
this may be a dumb question. It may be a super dumb question, but I don't care. I'm going to ask it. Chris Fetter and what he's done with this pitching staff and getting these guys. They brought Flaherty, and Flaherty wasn't this. Flaherty had some pitches. But Flaherty wasn't exactly this. He wasn't doing what he did this year. You look at what all the pitching staff is doing. Chris Fetter is the main reason why. Is there a batting coach out there? Are there batting coaches out there where you can give them some money, throw them something extra, give them maybe something that nobody's ever gotten as a hitting coach to equal what the pitching staff is doing? Because part of it, it seems like, is hitting. They're going after the wrong pitches. Like, that's Javi Baez's biggest problem is swinging at the wrong pitches. Is that a problem? Is that something that you could do, or is it just me trying to simplify a maybe even tougher question?
I think you're simplifying it only because they don't have the players.
Gotcha.
They got 4 holes that they got to fill, and one of them was a number 1 pick in Spencer Torkelson, who's down in the minors trying to find himself. Casey Mize is he's a mid pitcher.
Yeah, he's a number 1 pick.
He's a mid pitcher, number 1 pick. You can't miss on those things, and they have. It sucks.
Yeah, and they brought in new hitting coaches already with the new regime. And
they have a bunch of them.
I think with Javi, it just is who he is. Like, you can maybe save Spencer Torkelson, but Javi's 30+ years old. He's not changing this game at this point. It don't matter what hitting coach you put in front of him.
Did you see last night the Dodgers game by chance? Did you hear about it?
I saw the clip this morning.
Let me set the scene for you guys. The Dodgers are down like 7-0.
They were down. They were down 9-3.
9-3.
They were down 4-0, 6-1, and 9-3.
Okay, so they go to the 9th inning, down what? 9-3.
9-4, I think. 9-4.
They score 7.
Yeah.
To win, and how'd they do it?
This is fantastic.
Teoscar Hernandez is up at bat. He swings at a pitch that he obviously tried to check swing.
Yeah.
But he basically went like this, all the way around. Go to the first base coach.
Oh, wow.
First base umpire.
Wow.
First base umpire. No call.
Wow.
So out comes the manager, yelling at everyone was yelling at the umpire.
He blew the call.
They blew the call.
Yeah.
Next pitch, 3-run homer to win the game.
The very next pitch.
Next pitch.
And did you see the right fielder for Colorado?
He was pissed.
As soon as that ball goes in the stands,
livid,
was losing his mind.
You would too,
because he knew.
Yeah. Wild, man.
The Dodgers never count them out, and also, never count the umpires out to wreck a game.
And then
is that the umpires blowing a call, or is that the umpires like this is the Dodgers? Just like certain teams, certain players get calls.
He gave him the benefit. You're right.
I actually thought you can't end the game in that.
A check swing.
On a check swing. Not that close.
Yeah.
I did believe that. Like when I saw it this morning, like I wasn't as outraged as I would have been if I was Colorado.
But how sick was that umpire? Because the very next pitch wrecks the game.
Yeah, I know, but that's part of the game. You got to make your pitch then, you know? I mean, he's not going to ring you up on that. Not when the Dodgers had already scored 5, I think. They scored 4 on the Hayward grand slam. They scored 7 runs in the 9th. A Hayward grand slam and then a 3-run homer by Teoscar Hernandez.
Who's having an unbelievable year.
And then also in baseball, we saw Mookie Betts go down.
Yep.
And now
Rizzo.
Aaron Judge. I haven't seen anything else new on Aaron Judge. He got hit in the hand last night. Same exact pitch that it felt like Mookie Betts got hit.
And he stared that pitcher down.
You've got Anthony Rizzo. You've got Anthony Rizzo out for the Yanks, and now
Judge says he's fine.
Yeah.
We haven't heard anything else. So they're keeping quiet, which makes me scared a little.
Right.
that they're a little quiet.
Right.
Quick ask right now. Phillies and Dodgers probably best 2 odds to win it all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the Yankees are right there.
Yankees
They
are
get
right
Garrett
there.
Cole back.
Yeah, Garrett Cole tonight.
They are right
Orioles.
there.
Rizzo's playing the best that he's ever played. So him being out, keep an eye
He
on
might
that.
get Wally pipped.
He'll
They
be
brought
back.
a young guy up.
Doing pretty good, too.
And the
Couple of
great
hits last
Willie Mays
night.
passed.
Yeah, I know. I was going to talk about that in just next, if you don't mind. I was going to take a break. Is that all right?
Yeah, of course.
All right, thanks. Guys, we'll take a break. But first, a message from Swiss.
Now more than ever, it is critical for you to have your insurance reviewed. Swiss Insurance will make sure your carrier's not slipping in extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today. That's 313-530-1698. That's right, 313-530-1698. SwissINS.com. SwissINS.com.
You don't have to be ashamed when you work out at Planet Fitness 1 because nobody's judging you. It's the home of the judgment-free zone. Nobody's judging. Also, getting in shape makes you feel good. And at Planet Fitness, your fitness is essential. And it's only $10 a month. Now, yes, you can buy the black card and get access to all the amenities, all the extra things that they have going on, like personal trainers and the bar and et cetera, et cetera. But $10 is all you need to come in, feel great, work out, and have a great summer. A lot of time left in the summer. So do me a favor and do yourself a favor. Get on down to Planet Fitness, get that membership, get in shape. Your fitness is essential.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of. And guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody!
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media. And we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Hey, gang, I want to tell you about Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. That's right, Les Stanford has added the Buick GMC brands to their lineup. That Buick GMC dealership located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella, lesstanford.com, lesstanford.com. Together, let's drive. And you can drive on over to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That's Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. You could walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. Welcome back. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazway, KG, James, Joel, Pete Spivak, gang's all here.
Yes, sir.
I wanted to start this hour number 2, and we'll talk a little bit about the Lions. We'll get into some college football as well. But I wanted to start hour number 2 with the death of Willie Mays. I have been watching so much about Willie Mays over the last 24 hours. It's been pretty remarkable. And to a man, anybody that was alive when he played, everybody will tell you, this is the greatest ball player that has ever lived, period. You know, baseball is one of those romantic games. It might be a weird word to use when it comes to a sport, but there is a romance with baseball.
Yeah, you fall in love with things.
With numbers, with players. You cannot mention Major League Baseball and not have Willie Mays be one of the first sentences out of your mouth after that. 660 home runs. He was the first player since Babe Ruth to hit 600 home runs. That has since been surpassed. But nonetheless, when he played defense. He ran the bases. He hit for power. Vin Scully, I saw a video yesterday that was posted of Vin Scully meeting Willie Mays. Seeing Willie Mays and said, "Oh, Mays, Willie, you are my favorite player of all time. I've never seen a player like you. Tim Kirkjian, I've never seen a player like you. Greatest player of all time." Guys that were able to see him play, Bray, it's just breathtaking.
Baseball was my first love in terms of sport. Baseball, I told you when I moved to Georgia, that's why I'm a Braves fan as well as a Tigers fan, so calm down. But Willie Mays is all that, you know, our coaches will talk about, you know, the older coaches, if you will, in terms of how he played the game. It wasn't just the stats as Maz once he comes up, because this is Maz's guy, so we'll end with Maz on this. But it was how he played the game. He played you know what, to the wall. He gave you everything he had. He played defense. He played offense. He was a consummate teammate, but also off the field. You see the images of him in the city, you know, playing stickball in New York with the kids in New York when he would get a chance and get off days, etc. Like King Griffey is my favorite of all time. And I think my era, my generation, Ryan, you're a part of that. I think a lot of us are King Griffey fans. I think he was the precursor to King Griffey Jr., and he's also the godfather of the number one guy in terms of home runs, Barry Bonds, man. So never got a chance to see him, but just hearing people talk about him, you look at the stats speak for themselves, but just looking at off the infamous play. His infamous play isn't the 4 home run game. His infamous play is defense. It's the over-the-shoulder catch. And you
know what he said about that catch? He said that wasn't even in the top 10 catch of his all time, which goes to show you how many catches he had, how many balls he went after, Bray.
It's funny. I had a catch like that against Ohio State my senior year. I caught it literally like balls coming this way. I caught it like this, And after the game, my dad was like, you know, Willie Mays stuff. So like, even though I didn't
Pop culture,
100%, like, I knew exactly what he was talking about, and I was 21 at the time. Rest in peace to like a true GOAT, iconic legend of sports. Period. Not baseball. Tom Mazaway, take it away.
Willie Mays Hayes, even then, you know,
exactly.
right?
MLB,
in Major League.
Yeah.
Major League.
I was lucky enough to be able to see the end of Willie's career when he was a Met. The Giants traded him to the Mets, and so I got to see the last 2 years for him. He got the World Series with the Mets. Mets in '72. They were like another miracle. They played 500 ball all year. They make it to the World Series against the vaunted Oakland A's, going for their third straight championship. They ran into a buzzsaw in Game 7. They lost in Game 7 in that game. Willie Mays had a couple RBIs in that game. He had a flub in the outfield. He lost sight where the ball was. He became legally blind later in his life, so he always had trouble with his eyes. But to be able to see that guy, it kind of broke my heart the way he finished his career. But it was great that I was able to see him. Number 24, fantastic. Always with the New York Giants, then the San Francisco Giants, and then the New York Mets. What the New York Mets are a combination of the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants. The blue of the Dodgers, the orange of the Giants. They put them together. They became the Metropolitans, and they gave the National League their team back after they lost both those teams in the late 50s to California. Willie Mays, just listen to this, guys. 600-plus homers, 300-plus stolen base, 20-plus All-Star selections, 10-plus Gold Gloves, 4 home runs in a game, multiple MVPs, Rookie of the Year. That's what Willie Mays did in his career. No other player in Major League history has accomplished more than 3 of those 7 feats. 3 of those 7 feats. That, to me, spells it. It's over. He's the greatest player who ever laced them up. And one of the greatest human beings they ever want to run into.
Always smiling.
Always.
I don't think I ever
say,
saw
hey,
Willie.
kid. Hey, say, hey, Willie. Never saw a person he didn't go say hi to, shake his hand, or give an autograph to.
That's fantastic.
Never said no.
That's fantastic.
And went through hell to begin.
Absolutely.
Went through hell.
You know, you think back then in 1951 when he came up, you know, forget about how hard it is to play baseball in and of itself.
Yep.
How hard it was to deal with the outside stuff.
Oh, God.
And to come in and play
He
baseball.
played in the last Negro League World Series.
And that's what, you know, this game Thursday on Fox between the Giants and the Cardinals at Rickwood Field.
Yep. Would have been his celebration.
Home of the Negro Leagues. It's the oldest ballpark in America. Opened up in 1910. They're going to have 8,300 fans at Rickwood Field in Alabama on Thursday night. That game is on Fox 2 at 7:15. I saw a quote earlier in the week because we were doing some promotional stuff for Fox for the game. And Willie Mays, you know, was quote, "Oh, it's unfortunate I'm not going to be able to be there, but I'll be watching on TV and I'll be there in spirit." And then, my goodness, passes away a couple of days later.
You know what I love, too? I love how they implemented the Negro League stats into the MLB Hall of Fame.
It all come together this year, right for him.
And I appreciate
it
too,
together.
because a lot of those guys that left the Negro Leagues, they went on to play in the MLB, and they went on to star in the MLB. And also, when they had those games, the MLB versus the Negro Leagues won the majority of those games, so it is comparable baseball. Ryan, we found the pictures just so everybody knows I wasn't telling the lie out there. Throw it up to James. This was the catch.
Oh yeah,
it's in the end zone, as you see, Tom Mazaway. This is the Willie Mays Hayes right there.
I love it, man.
Not quite Willie Mays, but the Willie Mays.
I'm sure you
Hayes.
made a few of those.
And you know, it was against the team I hated and despised the most, so that made it even better.
That's awesome stuff. You know, Willie Mays too, when he signed with the Dodgers at 18 years old. Giants, excuse me. When he signed with the Giants, 18 years old, they paid him $15,000, and he bought a car with that, and he didn't know how to drive, so he couldn't drive.
Oh.
So his whole community drove the car.
I'll be damned.
You needed a car, you get to drive the car. How great is it? Like, that just goes
What
to
a
show
story.
you what a great person he was. You know, the black community, think about it, in the 1950s. You know what I mean? You need a car? Here, have my car. I got no use for it. You know, $15,000, you buy a car essentially for your community to drive around. Isn't that something?
Man,
it just speaks to who he was as a person, too. You know what I mean? Like it's emotional.
100%, man. You know, like people, they emulate athletes. They emulate athletes. We'll just stick with that. They emulate them. They want to be like them. When you have somebody that's that good on the field, but also you see what type of person he is, man. You as a parent, you're proud that your son or daughter wants to be like people like that, man. You need more people that have that it thing,
right?
That Willie Mays had.
Well, he certainly had it. He certainly
just celebrated his 93rd birthday.
And
not too long ago.
My goodness, Willie Mays gone at the age of 93, but will never, ever.
There's not many of them left.
Nope, not many at all. Just all-time greats, that's for sure. Guys, no easy transition out of that, but Willie would want us to talk more sports, so that's what we're gonna do. I saw this. We haven't talked college football in quite some time. We're going to talk a little college football now. Earlier this week, as in Monday. Yeah. I think it was Monday.
That was yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Oh, no, that was 2 days ago.
The Ohio State University had a little golf outing. A little fundraiser, golf outing. Urban Meyer was there. Jim Tressel was there.
With a sweater vest.
Here is what Urban Meyer and Jim Tressel had to say about the 2024 Ohio State Buckeyes.
But as of now, this is one of the most talented rosters in the last decade, maybe ever. I mean, that's a big statement. They got to play, but you look at the quality of athlete at every position, I've never seen anything like it.
And I don't know if I've ever seen that many great players in that building all at once. Every position, every place you turned. And so Ryan's done a great job. Ohio State has done a great job.
Well, they sure love what Ryan Day spent his money on because they say it's one of the best rosters they have ever seen for the Scarlet and Gray. I don't know, man. We all said it. They bought themselves a hell of a team, and maybe they got Michigan in there and right in front of them. They want to run them over for what they've done to them the last few years.
Yeah, everybody that I'm hearing right now, you know what I'm saying, from Joe Klett to, I guess, obviously now Urban Meyer and Jim Tressel. Jim Tressel's a heck of a guy. Like, I had a chance to do a podcast with him a couple years back, and just a really, really good guy. I wish I had a chance to play for him in another life, if you will. But just getting back on track, everybody says Ohio State is going to be one of the top 3 teams, at least to start the season, and we'll get a chance to see how good they are. Ohio State, maybe Oregon, Texas, and Georgia, probably the front runners for the top 4 spots. But, I mean, you spent $13.5 in the offseason, and you return a lot of your team. Let's be fair. Why did we say Michigan was going to be so good, Ryan Ermanni? You said they were going to win a national championship last year. Why? It was because of how many starters they returned. It was about having their core players intact, the offensive line, the defensive line. That's what Ohio State has done this year. They're returning a lot of their core players, and also they spent $13.5. You spend $13.5, that can buy you a lot of things in today's society, especially in NCAA. So we'll see. It sounds good on paper. Paper is just a thing. And we'll see what happens during the regular season. But it's going to be fun to see how the season plays out. Oregon now in our conference, they're one of the best teams in the country. Matt Lanning decided to stay at Oregon. Just going to see how Oregon shapes up. Ohio State, Penn State doesn't have to play Michigan this year. We'll see how they sneak their path. But it's going to be fun to watch Texas, Ohio State, and Oregon all on Michigan's schedule.
Speaking of schedules, Ohio State's schedule is really...
They got to go to Oregon.
I know, but it's really not up to par as far as Michigan goes. And I know Michigan had an easy run last year. Don't get me wrong. But they have a chance this year to do what Michigan did last year. Everything is right there in front of them. So I don't know, but how are they going to do the divisions now? Is it just one conference?
It's just one. Yeah. There's no division.
Okay, so who plays? Top two play in the thing. What if there's a tie?
Then there's tiebreakers.
Got it.
But the top 2 play. Dante 151, $10. Breaking news: Los Angeles Sparks forward Cameron Brink suffered a torn ACL in her left knee during Tuesday's game against the Connecticut Sun. The team announced Wednesday. We can talk about that more. Dante spent $10 for me to say that, so I'm going to say that.
Thanks, Dante.
Thanks, Dante, for that.
That's the power of Caitlin Clark and women's basketball right now. They're so in the limelight. Like, when have we ever had an
injury update?
Yeah. When have we ever had somebody spend money on a badge to update us about the WNBA?
Never.
The W.
Yeah,
excuse me. W. Yeah, W.
Either way,
yeah.
just back to this Ohio State thing. The Ohio, if not now, it's never.
Yeah.
For Ohio State.
Why never?
This never for Ryan Day.
Yeah,
okay.
Never for Ryan Day.
This is his last.
This
hurrah.
is it. You get $13-15 million, whatever it is. You go buy all these players. It's transactional. And if you don't win it this year, this guy's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he beats Michigan or not, I think he's got to finish with the trophy at the end of the year. Win, lose, or draw against Michigan. You have got to win the national championship when you spend that kind of money. And you have that kind. When's the last time you had national championship winning coaches say that about any particular roster?
I don't know.
I've not heard any coach talk about a single college football roster the way those two national championship winning coaches just spoke about the Ohio State
You
roster.
think that was a setup?
Yeah, they putting pressure on you.
Yeah.
I
You think Gene Smith said, hey?
I don't know about that.
I mean, why would they put this guy? Really, he is on the hot seat now.
Yeah.
Well, I put it to you like this. Urban Meyer basically gifted Ryan Day. He gifted him a program that was already locked and loaded. They were the tops in the division, in the conference. They were one of the top 3 teams in the country. Every year, he gifted them that, much like Bob Stoops gifted Lincoln Riley, Oklahoma. And he comes in right away and has success and makes 3 college playoffs. Gifted him this team. And then the team that Jim Tressel, I only beat him once. The team that Jim Tressel, the conversation that he had when he first took the job at Ohio State, don't worry, we'll beat that team up north. He beat us that year, beat us the next year, beat them, and then he beat us again. And then Urban Meyer, they have dominated. Now they're watching their protege fall by the wayside, and Michigan now owns the Big Ten. They own Columbus. They own Columbus as well as Ann Arbor. I think this is them saying, look, this is not what we do. Like, they're not, forgive me if I'm wrong, Maz, the coach before Jim Tressel. Back in the day.
Oh, God.
Cooper.
John Cooper.
John Couldn't beat Michigan.
Jim Tressel
2-10.
and Urban Meyer, like,
10-1.
we're not Jim Cooper. You're more like Jim Cooper. They love Ohio State, and Ohio State people love them. So I think this is them putting that lighting that fire, like you said. They're putting him on the hot seat. They don't need Joe Klett to do it. They don't need anybody other media outlets to do it. They did it because they believe in. They got national championships between the two of them. They won what, 2? Yeah. And went to 4. So
what's their toughest road? Is it at Oregon?
They play Oregon. They play at Michigan.
I tell you, none of those Pac-12 teams scare me this year.
Oregon is
Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA.
They've got to change their ways.
Here we go, Ryan. I agree with you on all the other Pac-12 schools that are coming in or that are going to be around.
Aside from Oregon?
That Oregon team is different. Oregon is different. They have a quarterback. They have a defense. They have an offense.
Quarterback? I forget.
Shoot. It's
the guy from Duke? Who is it? Dylan Gabriel from
Dylan Gabriel's nice.
Oklahoma.
Dylan Gabriel's nice. They got the quarterback. Matt Lanning he's a really good coach.
Yeah.
And Oregon wins 10, 11, 12 games every season. They've been doing it whether it was Matt Lanning, whether it was Marty Cristobal. It doesn't matter who the coach is. They find 11 wins. They're the only team that bothers me. And for Ohio State, I've played in Autzen. Everybody talks about Penn State, and everybody talks about the Horseshoe, and everybody talks about Death Valley and LSU.
The Crown Field, according to Lloyd Carr.
Man, if you go to the end zone and stare at it, you can't even see like the 40, 30, and 20. All you can see is once it gets down to like the 10 and the end zone. That place is as loud a place as you will see in college football. It's a dangerous place to play. Autzen Stadium, I promise you, man. We couldn't hear ourselves think. Wow. We couldn't hear ourselves talk. The offense didn't do anything. We lost on special teams.
I'll give you the teams. Give me the record. You ready? Akron at Ohio State.
Win.
Yeah, that's a win.
Western Michigan.
Win.
Marshall.
Win.
Ohio State at MSU.
4-0.
That's a win. Yeah.
Iowa comes to Ohio State.
5-0.
Here you go. Ohio State at Oregon.
L.
5-1.
Yep.
Nebraska comes to town.
6-1.
Ohio State goes to Happy Valley.
7-1.
They'll beat them this year. Yeah.
Purdue goes to Buckeyes.
8-1.
Ohio State travels to the new little stadium that Northwestern has.
9-1.
Indiana goes to Ohio State.
Jesus.
Michigan goes to Ohio State.
10-2.
That's a loss. But
there you go.
I'm being a homer.
But I'm not, you know what? And I'm not even hating because Michigan has had the same schedule.
Yeah,
I said
that.
I have nothing to say about this
smart.
They got a cake.
Yeah,
I think
agreed.
it's smart more than anything.
Yeah,
agreed.
You know, if the goal is just to get a bye now, that is the goal.
I will
to
say
get
this.
a bye, not play in that first round.
I will say this. If Ohio State beats Oregon, Ohio State will beat Michigan too, or they'll go undefeated. If they beat Oregon in Oregon, they'll go undefeated.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I'm really excited about Michigan this year. I feel like this guy, Sherrod Moore, has just put his head down and gone to work.
Yeah.
That's like, you don't hear much from him. An occasional smash tweet, which means something big is coming. Guys,
They got a top 10 quarterback that just came in. He was going to Ohio State. He changed his mind coming to Michigan now.
All Sherrod Moore not talking to nobody.
Oh.
All Sherrod Moore is doing,
hitting that portal.
Just head down, eyes forward, and work. That's it. You create all that noise over there, I'll go to the building and work. That's what he's doing. Look out for the Michigan Wolverines this year.
Yeah.
Telling you.
I love it.
Guys, we're going to take a break. We'll go around the NFL, including there's a writer at ESPN not a fan of what the Lions have done this offseason. Tom Mazaway will tell us about that. He will also tell us about this.
Oh, it's Dr. Pierce time. Let's do it. Attention, sports fans. Don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during BD Energy and Thursdays right here on Ermanni and Edwards. Top-notch injury advice, and plus he's got some great stories. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts as well. Dr. Jeff Pierce is here to keep you in the game, performing at your best. For more information, visit MichiganSportsandSpine.com or call them at 248-426-9944. Dr. Jeff Pierce. What else do we got? We got Premier Pet. Let's go, folks. You know it. Family-owned and operated for over 30 years, 13 Metro Detroit locations, and over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available. They've got curbside delivery if you want it, and nutritionists on call. So give your pet the best. Do not settle for less. It's PremierPetSupply.com.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness, and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home? Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit sports.
Hey, gang, want to tell you about KDK Law, dealing with divorce, child custody, visitation, and other family law issues. Kevin and Catherine at KDK Law in Birmingham will have your back. 10-plus years of experience and 24/7 availability. Scan that QR code right there above my head, or you can call 248-971-0476. Say Woodward Sports sent you, and KDK will pay your filing fee. That's big. KDK Law, they've got your back.
Don't let her do you wrong.
You know who else has your back? That is Soroki's, because the Nashville Hot is back. The pizza, the chicken sandwich, the tenders, and the fries, they are all hot and they are all fire, and they're waiting for you to try it. It is delicious, but if that's too hot for you, I got that. The crispy chicken and pizza have served people well for the years that Soroki has been in business, and they do the salads and the sides fresh. That's the key word when you're talking about Soroki's. It is fresh, and oh, by the way, you know we never forget, those biscuits are number one on my list right now. You add a little honey to those things. My God, my God.
Ooh,
Nashville Hot is back, but only for a limited time. Soroki's popping up everywhere in metropolitan Detroit. Try it out.
Great stuff. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. KG is here. James is here. Joel is here. And so is Pete Spivak. Tom Mazaway, shall we go around the NFL? And who in the hell is Mel Kiper? Who in the world is Seth Walder, man?
Seth Walder, NFL expert, as he is known on ESPN.
Yeah, okay.
I do follow him. He does come up with some good stuff.
Okay.
And it's
Who the hell
good.
is-
Okay.
Who the hell is Mel Kiper? Anyway, Seth Walder went on ESPN, and on the plus side, if you want to get the article, I'll help you for it. He has said he has went around and he has given the grades out for the offseason. He's given A's all the way down to D's. The Lions came in with a C grade for the offseason. Ryan, I'll let you read it.
Here, let me read it for you. Biggest move, extending Jared Goff for $113 million fully guaranteed. Move I liked, signing Kevin Zeitler and re-signing Graham Glasgow. Move I disliked, the price they paid to extend Goff.
Oh, wow.
Who is this guy?
Right?
This is what he says. The most important transaction the Lions made was 4 years, $212 million when they handed it to Goff. It's not a move I can endorse at that price. And it has potential to hamper the organization for years. Goff is a divisive talent, but I think most would agree he's not a top 10 quarterback, and that offensive coordinator Ben Johnson deserves a fair share of credit for Detroit's offensive success. I don't know if most would agree with that, actually. If Johnson leaves for a head coaching job in the near future, how effective would Goff be? It's a fair question.
I like how he skipped over DJ Reader.
Right. Had the Lions let Goff play out the 2024 deal and then give him a non-exclusive franchise tag, and again in 26 and again in 27, that would be roughly 1 year, $27 million, 2 years, $69 million, 3 at 120, or 4 at 193, based on some sort of deal. With this deal, he goes on to talk about the money. What are the odds that the Lions want Goff to be their quarterback in 2027? I'm not sure they are that high, and the downside is significant if the team decides to move on from Goff in the next year or two. As far as the good news, the Lions were able to secure critical value deals for Glasgow and Zeitler. They brought in DJ Reader at defensive tackle and signed Marcus Davenport on a worthwhile 1 year flyer on a fill-in edge opposite Aiden Hutchinson. Thank you, Mass, for that. The team spent first 2 draft picks filling out major need at corner, and they sacrificed value to trade up. The Lions also signed Penei Sewell and Amon-Ra. So basically, he just doesn't like
Goff.
Yeah.
At that price.
And I'm not sure people would agree that Goff's not a top 10 quarterback.
Yeah.
I'm not going to bite his head off in terms of that particular take. And the reason why is the majority of Lions fans said the same thing. There's some people sitting in this room right now who said $53 million was too much and that it wouldn't be that.
Who?
Right.
You were one of them. Maz was one of them as well.
I did not say it was too much once he signed it. I said I would sign him for around $45 million.
Okay, so that's the same thing he's saying. He would have been more comfortable signing him for a lot less money.
He was never going to sign him for 45.
Well, listen, in reality, I'll tell you the truth. You're right. I would have let him go. Not let him go, but let his contract. What this guy said, what Walder said.
Hold on.
Let his contract go. He gets a raise. Then you can franchise him, and you don't handcuff yourself.
This is all I was going to say, Matt. And I wasn't bringing that up to have a disagreement.
You hating on me? Are you hating on me?
Are you
hating on me?
You better watch out. It's Juneteenth. All right, don't be
Right.
nice to me.
You gotta
Better be
ease up
nice to
over
me.
here.
No, but in all factuality, I was just saying not a lot of people agree with the price tag when it happened.
Shocked.
100%. That's more so what I'm saying. But remember, Maz, we found out once we did digging, everybody's called on the 212. The number is 120.
Yeah.
The number is
150, I think.
150.
Yeah.
That's what they're handicapped to with Jared Goff. Also, you want your guy to be comfortable. You want Jared Goff to be easy, breezy, and free to play the best football that he's ever played. After last season, this is a pivotal year for the Detroit Lions. They have all the makings to get back to the NFC Championship, win the NFC Championship, and get to the Super Bowl, and we know they have an opportunity. Last year, we thought they could have won the Super Bowl if they would have got in the dance. I just think you want that guy to be easy. I think you want that guy to be free. You don't want him thinking about $34 million as opposed to what he's deserved, what he's owed. They pay Amon-Ra St. Brown. They pay Penei Sewell. You know what? I feel like I helped those guys get paid. Why didn't I get paid? I like the easy point. The 150 is the number to focus on. So I'm not going to bite his head off for that. But at the end of the day, that $53 million, it's 150 is the number that you're handicapped to. I don't have a problem, and the number's going to keep going up and up and up. So it's more about him feeling good and him actually deserving the money he got.
Yeah.
Those 2 wins in the modern era, like you can say what you want to about the team as a whole, and they earned them. Jared Goff was the quarterback, the catalyst, and we trust him to get us back to that point. So, you know, it's I don't mind the take. Just I disagree.
He got him to the NFC Championship game, and he was at market value, guys. And then if you don't like the deal, then you don't necessarily trust Brad Holmes. You don't think he's gonna handicap this team for the future. You don't think that they'll find a way to restructure maybe in 2026 to get the numbers down. He's not gonna incur a huge cap hit with the Jared Goff contract.
If he would have gave us a C, Maz, and he would have stated the C, and he would have added a couple things to the Jared Goff, like I think maybe they paid Jared Goff a little too much money. Maybe their moves in the offseason, they didn't necessarily do it for me. Maybe DJ Reader, it didn't do it for you. Maybe Davenport didn't do it for you because they're both
He didn't even mention that.
because they're both injured guys.
Yeah.
They're coming off injuries, and you're expecting them to play a major role in this year. Now, if he would have said that, I could understand the C. And I said more of a wait and see type, pun intended, wait and see type season. But just listing Jared Goff and giving us a C, I think that's
wild.
That was wrong. That was wrong.
All right, Roger Goodell. They asked him about Thursday Night Football. Roger, why did you take Thursday Night Football away from the network, NFL Network? It's your network. And he went on to say, I didn't feel that the production value from NFL Network was up to the standards that Fox and CBS and ESPN have done. And that's a pretty good slap. That's a slap, man.
So I heard, who did I hear from? I don't know. I was driving to work this morning at like 5 a.m. and whoever was on the radio at the time, I don't know if I was listening to Fox or ESPN up all night or whatever. Maybe it was Fox Sports. I think it's Ben Maller at the time. He was saying that the NFL wants to get rid of the NFL Network.
They're killing it.
They want it. They're stripping away everything from the NFL Network to sell it. They want to sell the NFL
Makes
Network.
me sad.
And I don't know why they wouldn't.
Look what they did to Good Morning Football.
That's what I'm saying.
They killed it.
They're killing all of it. Why would they want to get rid of their own network that they started that covers their own league?
Total Access they got rid of.
I don't understand it.
They make so much money. It's like, why wouldn't you just pour some of that money into your own product and do it in-house?
And you cover the league the way that you want to get covered. And that's the lawsuit that J.C. Trotter filed.
Yep.
You know, like he was trying to cover the league as a normal reporter. But when you work for the league, that would be like
bias. It just is what it is.
It'd be like Keith Langlois writing a terrible article about the Detroit Pistons and Tom Gores.
Right.
Or Twentyman or O'Hara writing a crippling article about
the Lions.
Sheila Hamp and Rod Wood.
Right.
Or no, Keith Langlois writes for the Pistons, right?
Yeah, you hit it
whatever.
right.
Or
you got it right.
Or any reporter that is employed by the team.
Chris McCoskey will rip an Illich.
But Chris McCoskey is at least employed by the news.
Right.
I'm talking about
Got it.
your own website.
Sure. Got it.
Like you just look, and I'm not saying anything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything about those guys. I'm just saying you can't do that.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you're fired.
Yeah.
Just ask J.C. Trotter.
In terms of NFL Network being disbanded, kind of like just being done away with, Look, people tune into the NFL Network. I myself, that's all I watched my junior and senior year in college, not even ESPN, because I wanted to be dialed into the NFL, the stats, what was going on behind the scenes, the players, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But now you don't have to do that with Pro Football Focus, with this site, with that site, my 33rd update, my 33rd team, Ari Mayroff and their group. There's so many ways to get the information. There's so many ways to get the content. And outside, and in fantasy football, a lot of people do this stuff on their own. They don't need the NFL Network for what they are. They don't necessarily have good analysts. They don't necessarily do a good job. People don't even dial into the data anymore. You know what people are dialing into? The gossip. They're dialing into what's going on behind the scenes with teams, what's going on with players, the social media things. That's what ESPN specializes in. That's what Fox specializes in. It's not what the NFL Network specializes in. So nobody's tuning in really to the NFL Network until what? Draft time. Outside of the draft, when are you watching NFL Network?
You're not.
For what?
You're not. Why do you think they did a 50-50 equity partnership with ESPN for programming? I mean, it was this was the route.
Did you guys hear about Pro Football Focus?
Yeah.
Owned by Chris Collinsworth.
Tell me about this, because I did hear about this vaguely.
Listen to this. Collinsworth charges each NFL team $150,000 to do all the stats for them and all the numbers and all the exit velo and all that crap.
Analytics.
All the analytics. But the teams are starting to do their own and starting to say to Chris and Pro Football Focus, look, we don't like what you're doing lately. He is kind of like laid down. He put his product out there, tried to sell it for a lot of money, billions. It didn't go through. He did sell it to some guy, and I forgot how much he got out of it. The guy he brought in to help the team has everyone hates him. And he's been fired. After 3 years with the company, he has been let go. So Chris Collinsworth is now trying to stop the bleeding. Pro Football Focus is bleeding right now.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't stop the bleeding, they won't be what they are right now. $150,000 per team he gets, plus everything else that he does.
So quick math: $150K times 32
is a lot of money.
$4.8 million a year.
Yeah.
Just that. Just that.
Yeah.
So
pretty good.
So he's got to try to reinvent Pro Football Focus.
It's funny. Like, it's like any service that you offer people that they can just turn around and do themselves.
Yeah.
What did Braylon say about Blockbuster?
Yeah.
Right.
Blockbuster thought they had it all going.
Right.
Oh, what's Netflix?
Right.
You got to mail in a CD?
No.
Now look at Netflix, and there's no Blockbusters left. Maybe one in Alaska.
I think that was closed.
Yeah, it was out in Oregon or something like that. I saw the Netflix.
Yeah.
I saw that too.
Right.
It was like the last Blockbuster.
One more, Mass.
Man, Friday nights. You remember back in the day, Friday nights? Blockbuster, Pop Romano's Pizza, man, Dairy Queen.
There was a Blockbuster at Mac and Maross inside the Maross and Mac Plaza. Oh, man, you go in there, you get that microwave popcorn bag, too, that you just...
And you know what? All the movies you wanted was in that one.
Right.
Because if you go to the one on Mac Avenue down the street, they were all gone. Yeah, they were all gone.
Yeah.
They were all gone. You had to hunt around to see where you were going to go.
We used to go to Blockbuster not far from here in Ferndale because I lived on 8 Mile in Livernois. We went to one on Livernois and 9 Mile, and it was like that huge Blockbuster. Had it all. Yeah, I got a game. My sister got a movie. My parents got a movie. Funny thing is, I watched both my parents and sisters' movies, so I was the one that really won.
Then of course you didn't rewind it. Look
of course
out.
not.
Oh,
back in the day, $20. Then you had Family Video pop up.
Right.
I think they went belly up as well.
They were around for just a couple of years ago. They were selling that CBD oil. They turned it into like a weed thing, man. It's a lot of CBD.
A lot of family weed.
Yeah.
Funny story about Blockbuster. So my freshman summer.
Talk about laundry.
My freshman summer, going to my sophomore year, rented a movie, a little date situation.
Sure.
Rented a movie, kept the movie all summer, forgot about the movie. The movie was downstairs, and then I stayed. You do the with sublet. You sublet in the summer, and then you go back to the dorm. Lost the movie, couldn't find the movie. Don't you know they tried to charge my mom because credit card back then was still in my mom's name $422.
$400?
But luckily, they messed with the wrong one, man. We got an attorney. We threatened them with some other stuff. We ended up giving them $50 and then went on about our business. But $422
for a VHS
what a
tape.
shame.
because they tried to charge you for what they potentially could have earned on renting that movie out. I was like, nobody's renting Pretty Woman that many damn times.
Oh,
Get out of here.
I went right for the Rocky movies to see if any of the Rocky movies were there. That's what I always used to do.
Fantastic.
Anyway, we're gonna take a break. We'll come back and more. Hey, where was Bill Belichick? Whose house is he leaving?
Oh, we know.
We'll have that video for you coming up next too.
We
But
know.
First, the message from Guardian Alarm.
What do you do when you see that black and yellow sign? What does it tell you to do?
Stay out.
Stay out. That's
Stay out.
right. Come on
Stay
down
out.
to Guardian Alarm today. That's right. Call 1-800-STAY OUT. That's right. Call 1-800.
Stay out.
Let
Stay
Guardian
behind
Alarm protect it. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you.
They sent you.
They tried
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Yo, let me just say, I love Planet Fitness.
Trying out Planet Fitness and dang, they got lots of equipment.
Not me getting a Planet Fitness membership just for the 24-hour perk.
Listen, the PF Black Card is worth every penny for this hydro massage. I'm a new man.
Did y'all know that the PF app has workouts you can do at home?
Cheapest therapy I can find is Planet Fitness.
All the benefits, all for less. Planet Fitness, big fitness energy for all.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Woodward Sports has a new morning show, not so new, of course, but it's the Woo Crew in the morning. Y'all know it. Every day, 8 to 10, wake up Woodward. Join Kool-Aid, Flannel Sam, Broder, JB, and myself every morning as we cover all of Detroit sports, sports talk, banter, and live fan interaction, all on Detroit's #1 sports network. I said #1, Woodward Sports.
All right.
All right.
Are you
welcome
standing
back.
up now?
Oh, man.
We're in the
I'm
home
standing up
stretch.
now.
It's like the backstretch of about the 400.
Yeah.
We're coming down to the 100 meters.
Hey,
left.
man. It's all good. It's all good. Hey, day 3 of this heat stretch, too.
Man.
And then it's going to be,
Hasn't been so bad. It's hot.
Yeah,
The last 2 days.
You cover them up. That's true. Yeah.
Been inside.
We did a little yard work, though. I've been outside in the yard.
Yeah.
I ran the hill today, after I worked out. Been in the yard a little bit, getting the gardening together. Trying to appreciate that whole thing. Still don't love it, but appreciating it more, if you will.
Yeah.
Very good.
Better you than me.
Right.
Hey, look, man, you're already married. I'm trying to get there.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get there.
Hey, Matt, can you break down what's going on?
I can try.
Because I
have no idea what any of this crap means.
I don't either.
It's the
That's why I
Sunday
wanna
ticket.
come to you.
It's the NFL Sunday ticket, formerly on DirecTV, now, of course, on YouTube. So here's the scoop.
What's a scoop, Maz?
Scoop.
Is the NFL overcharging the fans?
Yes.
To force them to watch CBS and Fox, the primetime 4 o'clock games that they pay so dearly for. So Pro Football Talk, and of course the man that runs
Mike
Pro
Florio.
Football Talk is Mike Florio, went on the Pat McAfee show to try to explain this whole thing, which really nobody can understand. So let's listen to Mike Florio on Pat McAfee.
Take a listen.
This morning, I looked on the internet and I saw Roger Goodell might be testifying today in a class action lawsuit against the NFL. I had no idea that was happening. Then I also read Jerry Jones might be testifying either today or sometime this week in a class action lawsuit. And I said, what is this? Roger Goodell is about to take the stand. We're talking about one of the greatest speakers of all time. This is something that I wish we all would have heard of. And it was all coming from your website. What the hell is happening? Where are we right now? And how does this end, probably, for everybody? Florio, as you've been the only one covering this, seemingly.
It really is strange. And I've made this point both on the website and on Twitter that it seems like no one's paying attention to this, and I don't know why. I don't know if we just haven't prioritized it yet. We haven't taken it seriously. I think it's good that people like you are seeing, hey, whoa, Goodell testifying, Jerry Jones testifying. Maybe this is something we should be paying closer attention to. This is a case that goes back to 2015. It was filed by a San Francisco pub known as the Mucky Duck, and it challenges the way, fundamentally at its core, it challenges the way the NFL sells the Sunday ticket package, the out-of-market way to, if you're a Packers fan in Pittsburgh, you can watch those games, and they market it like that. The commercials play to that idea that if I'm a displaced fan of some team and I'm in a different market, I can watch the games that way. So the fundamental question is this. Is the NFL forcing the Sunday ticket provider, previously DirecTV, now YouTube TV, to overcharge in order to ensure that a certain number of people won't get it and that they'll watch the CBS and Fox games made available to them in their local markets? It's a premium product, and there's plenty of evidence that's come in already that the NFL doesn't want it to be too cheap. It doesn't want it to be something that has a huge subscriber base, and the argument is it's trying to protect CBS and Fox. That's the core of the case, and I think caught up within that is just this idea that's been lingering ever since I first became aware of the Sunday ticket package. Why do I have to buy the whole thing for the whole year when I only care about one team's games? Why do I have to buy every week if the team that I want to watch has a Monday night game that week and I'm not going to watch any out-of-market games this weekend? So however this plays out, it could force the NFL to really change the way that games are made available to consumers. And that's a win for all of us, regardless of the verdict, regardless of what happens on appeal. This could rattle the cage enough for the NFL that they say, maybe we need to change the way this is. Maybe we do need to make it cheaper. Maybe we do need to let people buy one team at a time, 1 week at a time, one game at a time. So I hate to say it, but it's true. If the NFL loses, there's a chance that all of us win.
That's really interesting, and I do understand now a little bit about, why that would be. And look, when there's no competition for anything, and there's no competition,
Can't
right?
drive
The NFL
prices
is
up.
king,
Yeah.
right? You can monopolize whatever, you can charge whatever you want to charge.
Yeah.
Why can't I just pay for a game if I want to watch a game?
Yeah.
I have the ability to watch the Detroit Lions at the Washington football team one Sunday. I live in New Orleans now. Why can't I just buy that game if I want to buy it? A la carte, like a movie.
Yeah.
Want to watch a movie? You pay $20.
It's going to become
for it.
that.
It should be a la carte.
It's funny. We thought about you. I can't remember when it was, but they were talking about the last couple names for the Utah hockey team, and one of them was
hockey club.
Yeah,
and we instantly was like, Ryan would pick this one.
Yeah,
he loved
makes
to watch.
total sense.
That's what they're going as this year.
I fought Ryan so long on watching football team. It got to the point where I was like, it doesn't sound that bad.
It don't.
Like,
Football
after a
team is
while,
horrible.
Maz
Compared to
hated
the
it 'cause he's a
Commanders?
Redskins guy, but
Commanders is much better than football team.
I like football team.
It's cleaner. Washington football team is
There's
way
just
cleaner.
no greater
Is it
nickname.
soccer? No, it's the NFL.
That would
You have a
foot-
nickname.
That would be
Football club.
Right.
You have a nickname. That's not a nickname.
Theirs is FT. football team.
WFT. Yes, WFT.
WF.
Get with the times, Maz. Come on, Maz.
It's okay, man.
Mazzy, baby.
Oh, I'm Mazzy baby me. When it comes
Maz
to
would have been
nicknames.
cool if it
Mazzy,
wasn't
baby.
such a storied franchise like the Redskins. If it would have been one of these other franchises like the
Right.
Jaguars, probably wouldn't have cared.
That's
Exactly.
so funny, dude.
But the actual Redskins, they got a lot of history, and Maz was part of some of that history, and that's his conference.
Yeah.
The NFC East.
Oh my God, I have to bring this up.
What do you got?
I have to bring this up.
What are you bringing up?
Did you guys see the odds on? Remember when I said that the Detroit Pistons should pick Bronny James at number 5?
I did see that. He has limited workouts coming up too. By the way,
Did you see what the biggest liability for the sports books are?
Where would he go?
Bronny James at number 1.
Hell
More
no.
people
No.
are betting on Bronny James to be the number 1 pick in the draft
might
than
bankrupt somebody.
any
Right,
other
They
player.
have Atlanta as number 1.
That's
than
wasted money.
any other player in this draft.
That's wasted.
That's how bad the draft is.
That's how bad the draft is. But one of the guys, hold on, I got to get this tweet. It's from my guy Ben Fawkes.
Oh, Ben Fawkes.
Yeah,
Is that
Ben
Faux?
FAW
Oh.
X.
Excuse me?
Here he is, Ben Fawkes. FAWKES.
Hell of a name.
Hold on. I got to get this.
Hell of a
Bronny
name,
James
man.
at 200 to
No
1.
Fox, give it.
Listen to this. Bronny James at 200 to 1 is still the most bet player by total wagers and biggest liability for MGM to go number 1 in the 2024 NBA draft.
Bankrupt.
From one odds maker, they're on the growing Bronny liability. Quote, it would have to be a very big number before we become concerned. So they are not quite concerned yet.
Just drop them to 50 to 1.
But they got an eye on it.
They do have an eye on it. You know, when they start eyeing you, that means a lot of money coming in on this. And look, when I said that the Detroit Pistons should take Bronny James at number 5, it wasn't because of his basketball ability. It was for everything else.
Yeah.
To the point now where sports books are starting to pay attention of where he is going to be picked, maybe even number 1.
No
now,
way.
it's not going to happen, but I think people understand why you would take him.
LeBron, the exposure,
for 1 year of LeBron.
And KJ Vinny was talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
It's an agent-driven league.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, this is an agent-driven league. You think the coaches are in charge? You think the general managers are in charge? They are not.
It's turning into boxing, like promoters. Promoters are in charge of boxing.
Yeah. You know, Rob Pelinka was an agent, took over the Los Angeles Lakers. He was Kobe's agent. Arn Tellem was one of the most successful agents ever. Took over the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
You know, Rock
And
Nation,
Memphis Grizzlies.
LeBron James, Rock Nation. You
Yeah.
know, all of these
Rich
different
Paul.
agents,
Yeah.
Rich Paul, all of these different agents are controlling the league. So if you think that you're going to get Bronny James on your team and not have that agent take care of your franchise,
Ain't lying.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it is good business to have Bronny James on your team.
Maybe.
And you were looking at the LA scene at one time in terms of the Lakers and the Clippers. You had AD, Rich Paul, LeBron, Rich Paul, James Harden, Rich Paul, Paul George, Rich Paul, Kawhi Leonard, not Rich Paul. But you look at that, that's 4 superstars within the same building.
Yeah.
Our Clippers getting their own building now, but you can do damage when you have that guy. It's like, hey, bring your guy over.
Yeah.
If we give you power, can we get Paul George?
Right.
Can we get AD? Can we get access to insert Draymond Green's a Rich Paul guy? Yeah.
Hey, we found out where shirtless Bill Belichick
Oh
was.
my God!
Let's show you the video. Let's show you the video. We'll talk over it.
Funniest video this year.
Here we go. It's Bill Belichick.
Oh my
Walk
God.
of shame.
Hey, Bill been in the gym a little bit though.
Oh my God!
Now, that ain't a walk of shame. He should be proud.
No, that's the
Oh
walk.
my God! God bless you, Bill Belichick.
Walk of shame at 70 years old is wild.
I still don't understand why he's leaving without a shirt.
I'm trying to figure out.
It
that
was a wild
neighborhood.
night. That's why.
Now listen. Was someone coming in the window? Was this girl's father
parents
coming
was
in the
coming
window? Because if my daughter was going out with a 70-year-old guy, I'm coming through the window with my buddy Anthony.
With a bat. And
With a
gun.
bat.
Right.
And we're going to take care of Bill Belichick.
Oh my God!
I mean, he's 50
Tony
years
Mupp
older than her.
gonna take care of him.
Yeah, right.
So
Take him
that's
around
the only
back.
reason I can think that he's leaving without a shirt.
Oh
So
my
do
God!
we know
on the
who?
way.
I thought we knew. We
Yeah,
now.
he's at the 24-year-old.
Yeah, the cheerleader.
It's a 24-year-old girl that he helped with her homework.
He said help with her homework.
Yeah, he was helping
He
her.
did.
Hey, you know what? I'm proud of Bill Belichick, man. This is, you can say what you want to. This has been an amazing 3-month stretch for Bill Belichick, man. Kudos to Bill Belichick.
Isn't it so funny? Like
Didn't get a
guys,
job.
for the guys, we're like, yeah. For the girls,
Women
you're
like,
you.
Dirty old man.
Like you dirty old.
We're proud of
dirtbag.
him. I mean, I'm happy for the guy.
What are you guys
Shout out.
watching tonight?
Oh my
Concert.
God.
Oh, you're going to concert.
Janae Aiko, fiance of Big Sean,
Big
Detroit
Sean.
native.
Oh, yeah, that's gonna
she
be a
will be
good show.
at LCA tonight.
I
So
wonder if Big Sean himself will make an appearance.
your fiance can't perform at LCA in your city, and you don't make some type of song appearance. I think they have 4 or 5 songs.
They
together,
got an album together.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and how you think she got LCA?
Yeah.
Because when my girl told me we got the tickets, I was assuming Fox. I was assuming Fillmore, like a smaller, more intimate venue. I heard LCA. I was like, Big Sean's in the building.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%.
Make that money for the family.
I
Keep
watched
it in
House
the
of the
family.
Dragon. I'm going to watch House of the
I
Dragon.
watched it
I'm
last
definitely
night.
watching a little TV show action.
Yeah.
Little
You
TV
say you caught
action.
up on Clipped. How is it? Because I only got 1 episode through.
I'm still struggling with the what are those magazines called? The paparazzi. I'm still struggling with the paparazzi angle with the girl down in Sterling. Everything is about her.
Yeah.
Like I want to see more with Doc and the
I think
Clippers.
it's told from her perspective, though, the whole story.
It is, and it bothers me. I think they can get a little bit more basketball involved and bring her in at times. Like this is episode 3. First 30 minutes, man, was, I won't say anything. It's just a lot of her.
What are you doing?
Exactly. It's a lot of her. Donald Sterling was a wild boy.
I don't want to watch it.
He's a wild boy. He's a wild boy.
Get us out of here, big guy.
Hell of a show, man. Appreciate you guys. This is the team, and this is what we do. KG, my man James P. Spivak, Uncle Maz on the couch, Ryan and Monty brother from another mother. It has been fun. This was a locked and loaded show.
Yes, sir.
Guess what? We got another one from you tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow, Woodward Sports Network.
T. Foss will be here tomorrow.
T. Foss.
Oh, Lord, stories with T.
God.
Foss. Maybe we'll get another Belle Isle story and
he's gonna be good
that
on the
lemonade
Pistons.
juice.
Belle Isle Thursday.
He'll be good
Belle
on
Isle
the Pistons
Thursday.
He will.
tomorrow.
Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We appreciate it. We will see you tomorrow.